Are we good? Are we on? Is that working? Did I do it? Huh? 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 Good grief, what a catastrophe. What a catastrophe this has been. Okay, that's coming through. That seems to be coming through fine. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2, testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, there's me jiggling around on a television screen, so that's working, that's good. Good grief, what a catastrophe. Well, I can say for certain that digital art streams might not be as frequent of an occurrence in the near future. You may have noticed that the current time is 5:19 p.m. If you are astute of mind and also living in the Pacific Central Time Zone, it is 5:19 p.m. 19 minutes after I said I would go live to do a televised stream. I am very late, but I was not meant to be, because I had everything ready to go. Everything was set up. I had my tablet here, it was connected to another machine that was going to stream me drawing cool things digitally, and that unfortunately was not to be. Because technical reasons that I don't quite understand. I tested this during the day and it worked fine. I did a little private stream where I was just drawing stuff, going blah, 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 to an audience of nobody, which is how I assume these streams normally go, but it worked fine. And then the second it came time to put the rubber to the road and actually do the thing that I promised to do, breakdowns. Breakdowns everywhere. So unfortunately, I will not be drawing any digital art today, and I apologize for that. I was going to draw pretty pictures on my digital tablet screen, digital tablet screen to try something new. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that because my machine simply will not let me, and I don't know why. The machine spirits are angry at me, and that is just my burden to bear. So, in lieu of that, I am just going to go back to the old reliable and keep doing some painting, because that seems to work pretty well. It's something that I like to do, and it's something that I can do on relatively short notice. Because as I said, my computers hate me. Ugh. That's sad. I would have loved to see you draw. Well, thank you, YouTube user Maynham. I'm very appreciative to hear that. But, to my computer's credit, it was not exactly out of line. Even with the very small vantage point you have of my desk, you can see how many wires and cables are just running everywhere. Slightly off camera, right up here at the very top of my desk, is a fucking nest of plastic wires that are all crisscrossing each other, all going into different ways and doing different things, and it is absolutely of no surprise to me that my computer simply would not allow me to stream my digital art process. I had the computer that I'm running this stream on now, my tablet computer that I usually draw on, it was connected to a Steam Deck, which was connected to an external screen. It was all jury-rigged with a bunch of connectors and adapters that absolutely should not have been where they were going. And so I'm not surprised that every time I tried to hit the live button, it simply exploded and kicked me to the curb. But you know what? That's fine. This week is a week of trying new things, and I tried something. And I failed dismally. But that's okay, because I'm still alive and I wasn't electrocuted by all the cables, which, let's be fair, was a very likely thing that could have happened given my current setup. Look, cable management is boring, hectic wires make everything more interesting. See, that's what I thought too. But now I have to deal with those consequences. There are 2 microphones on my desk right now. Only one of them is in use. I don't know how to get rid of the other one because it is just tangled in a nest that I cannot remove. RIP. You really didn't like that you wanted to draw pretty pictures for us? I know! That's such a shame. I was even working on a commission and everything. Like, I had stuff to do. You know, normally when I've tried art streams in the past, it's just I've just sort of sat down and gone like, you know what? I'm gonna sit down, pull out my tablet, and see what happens. And then I always have the worst art block known to man. But today I came prepared. But it was for naught, unfortunately. YouTube told me to swipe down to switch stream. Yeah, that was probably because I... listen, if you were waiting for the stream to go live, if you were eager and waiting, like I saw some of you were, kudos to you for that. I think I managed to go live for 1 second. If you go onto my page right now and go to the live section, you will see a live stream that lasts exactly 1 second long. And I urge you all to go and watch it, because it'll probably give you like 2 ads in a row before you do that, and I'll get money for that. But that just goes to show you that I was gonna do it. I'm not just cheaping out, I'm not just chickening out of that thing that I promised. I genuinely tried to draw today. I wanted to draw. You know what I mean? I say that as someone who trips over the cable for his mouse every day. God, same. Ever since it started getting warmer over here in North America, we just invested in a fan for the first time, and I swear to fucking God, that thing is the biggest tripping hazard that I've ever seen in my entire life. You have no idea. You simply have no idea. It is so warm in this house, and there are cables everywhere, and I trip over them, and I threaten to die. You got it, I'll go watch that now. Please do. I need people to know that I'm not lying to them. Because I don't want to lie to people. What are my pronouns? My pronouns are he, him. Thank you for asking. I had that little pop-up to answer that question, because it's a question that's very frequently asked. So it's a little bit redundant that I use the pop-up and say the answer, but you know what? I didn't think about that. Can you show one of your drawing first stream? I'd like to see one. I would absolutely... I mean, I think I do need a little bit of a better place to store my art lately. It wouldn't let me watch it. I mean, it probably did let you watch it, except it was over like that. Like, I think when I tried to go live, I accidentally, like, double tapped the go live button, and then it was just like, whoa, whoa. And then it's just done. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do want to get back into drawing a lot more. I haven't done it for a good long while. I guess I have been doing a bit of drawing behind the scenes. I just haven't been posting much of it because I don't know. I get into these moods where I like start to draw something and then I just don't really finish things. I'm kind of a procrastinator when it comes to that. I feel bad now that the first thing I commented when I saw your streams were your pronouns are. No, don't worry about that. It's a very honest question, and I never shy away from it. You know, it's a question worth asking, quite frankly. You know, just because it's a frequently asked question, which I get, and I understand why, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it would be good to, like, put in these little, you know, speech bubble things just to give little chat pop-up messages, you know, to remind people that, you know, the chat's in sub-only mode, my pronouns are he, him, you know, you should just ignore all hate comments because, you know, you don't need to pay attention to them or anything like that. I gotta figure out a way to automate those, though, because right now it's just me, like, reaching over and, like, randomly pressing buttons and then having these messages come up. But then I always forget to do that, because I'm very forgetful and stupid. You know what I mean? I get misgendered a lot, so I prefer to ask. Yeah, I mean, that's totally fair, you know? Like, I absolutely don't mind people asking. I think it's very polite and respectful, you know? I dig it. I think it's cool. Yo. That was not cool at all. Is that an Australian accent I hear? Too bloody right, mate. Melbourne represent, eh? I don't know what accent that is, but... Yes, you do hear the Australian, because that is my country of origin. That is where I lived. And I now no longer, on account of my many crimes that got me chased away from the government. Or chased away by the government, I guess I should say. That and all the tax fraud. Which you can't get from me now because I live in Canada. That was the coolest yo I ever heard. It wasn't, but I appreciate you for lying to me. It shows me that you care. Yo, my guy. What's up, bro? Not much, bro. Just painting some Warhammer, dude. I was going to draw digitally today, but my stream setup absolutely wouldn't have allowed me to. So instead, I think it's a perfect excuse to finally make some progress on this bloody Dakka jet that's just been sitting idle for God knows how long. Like, I bought this thing as a Christmas present to myself. Like, I've had this since Christmas, and it's still barely finished. You know what I mean? Almost every artist I know has like 1,000 unfinished project drawings. Yeah. 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 It's something I want to get better at. I want to get better at the follow-through when it comes to digital art. Like, I think where I really break down is the coloring stage. Like, anytime I sit down to draw, I'm like, woo, sketching! And then when I continue on, I'm like, woo, line art! And then it's finally time to do the colors, and it's like... Yuck. Hey, you're live again. I am! Finish any minis? I'm making good progress. See, the problem is for me that I have a lot of in-progress minis. Because I stream my progress, I think I always want to, like, try, like, working on new minis just to keep things fresh. But the only downside to that is that I never fully end up finishing any of them. So... But that just means I'm going to get to a point, like, 6 months from now where I'm going to have, like, 5 fresh new minis that I'm going to be able to show off. Like, bam, bam, bam. I finish them all at the same time. Does that belt have little metal squares? It does! It does have little metal squares. Now, there's also a very good reason why I'm just wearing a regular pair of jeans and, like, a funky alternative top. That is because when I set myself up to do my art stream, that never ended up happening because my computer exploded. I had my camera set up so you could only see the top half of my body, so I didn't have to worry what was going on down here. So I literally just wore the most comfortable pair of jeans that I own that is absolutely by no means an alternative fashion statement. And it was just casual wear. But then I had to change everything from scratch and do it all again because of everything. You know what I mean? Orcs is your thing? What do you think about the Cruel Boys? I don't know much about Age of Sigmar. I know it exists. I know people are really into rats right now, which I think is absolutely delightful. But yeah, I haven't really looked into Age of Sigmar that much. There was a local game store not near me. Well, I guess that's irrelevant information to the story because you're not going to triangulate my location from, whatever shopping malls I go to. But there was a game store relatively close to me that was selling the old Age of Sigmar Dominion set, which, to my knowledge, was basically the Leviathan or the Skaventide set of the previous edition. Like, it had a full set of, like, Stormcast Eternal minis and a full set of whatever the bad guy was that season. It was $90. Down from $250. I am kicking myself that I didn't end up picking it up. Because I was sitting there going like, oh, do I really want that? I only want this because it's on sale. Like, I don't think I actually really care that much about Age of Sigmar. But now that the new editions come out and everyone's really hyped about it, I'm like, ooh, I could have got a big old box of it. I could have got a big old box of it. I love your outfit. Thank you, Illuma Art Channel. I appreciate it. This is a fancy shirt that I wore, and these are some grungy pants that I wore, because I didn't think my camera was gonna encompass my full body today. But you know what? It kind of goes hard. Like, this is just good casual wear. You know what I mean? This is a lounge fit. I'm lounging. Very 90s, that's absolutely right. Any tips for somebody trying to get into the painting portion of the hobby? Yes, it's fun, and you should have fun doing it. Like, a lot of painting in Warhammer and other miniature games, I suppose, like, Warhammer isn't the only one that exists out there. A lot of the components of the painting side of miniature wargaming stuff is that, yeah, it's a lot more creative than people give it credit for. Like, I think if you were to search up, like, painting tutorials on YouTube or online or pretty much anywhere, you're going to find a lot of very, like, lore-specific things, chapter-specific things. Like, here's how to paint a blood angel. And there is no other legal way to paint a blood angel absolutely at all on this planet. You don't have to listen to that. Right? You can paint your models however you want. You can make them look any way that you so desire. And really, when it comes to getting into painting, what you really have to brush up on is the fundamentals. So, you know, the official Warhammer page has a lot of really basic painting tutorials. That's like, you know, here's how to paint Space Marines, or like Stormcast Eternals, or like some really basic factions of, you know, the respective games. And they really run through the basics of painting. And you can take that and apply it to any color, any faction, any model that you so desire, really. So yeah, my tips for people starting to get into paint is to just have fun with it. Like, at first, just try following some tutorials step by step. I know you're probably going to want to deviate and put your own spin on things, but just for the time being, follow the tutorials, get the basics down, and then you can go buck wild and make whatever fancy rainbow color miniatures you want. Hey, welcome back, Bob the Beat. It's good to have you here. Can he beat it? Yes, he can. Is that a reference people understand? Did y'all have Bob the Builder, or was that purely just a me thing? When I say me, I mean the entirety of the country of Australia. No, they had to Bob the Builder had to have cultural relevancy. Like, fucking Elton John was on Bob the Builder. Like, that has to be... That show has to have had more worldwide acclaim than just being a local Australian production. Yeah, it was British. What am I talking about? Is that a Wazbomb blaster? No, it is not. It is just the Dakka Jet proper. Because I'm basic like that. Come on, focus. Because I am basic like that. But you know what? That's how I like to be. I looked at the stats for all of the jets I could have built with the Dakka Jet kit. And look, the Wazbomb Blast Jet had some funky, like, cyber abilities. You know, the Burner Bomber and the Blitzer Bomber, you know, had cool bombs they could drop. The Dakka Jet special feature is just, fuck this one guy in particular. Like, you get 2 Dakka Storm cannons, they both fire twice as fast as they normally do, and yeah, you can just unload into one particular thing and get a million shots on it. Can we build it? Fucking hell we can, mate. I had the PS1 game. I had the Bob the Builder Game Boy Color game, and I played that shit to completion. I have never 100%ed a video game in my entire life, except for, you know, Bob the Builder Family Picnic Antics on the Game Boy Color, or whatever it was called. I don't know what the game was actually called, but I know that the deep lore was that Bob the Builder was getting ready to, like, put on a picnic for the town, and you had to do mini-games with all of the fucking truck things. And I maxed out that shit. I played on hard, and I fucking won. I was like 7 at the time. I just want to say you look like a character drawn in the gorilla style. 3-dimensional? 3-dimensional? 3D? Thank you. It's because of the facial plasticity, isn't it? That tends to be why people say these kinds of things. Because my face can move quite a lot when I talk, when I choose to do so. You know? Ah, superb. That's right, Justin Goodwin. I also think what I do is superb. It's the lips and the nose. Ah, yes, the cornerstones of my art style. The makeup slays, though. Thank you. I really wanted to go simple today, so I literally just put, like, some black shit on my waterline, some really basic eyeliner, and then I just sort of, like, dusted it out with black and purple. Like, I actually have very little eyeliner on. It's all eyeshadow that's making you think I have eyeliner on. He does a killer Jim Carrey impression. Hold on, let me do it. Alright, here's my killer Jim Carrey impression. Hey, it's me, Jim Carrey. Bada bing, I was Ace Ventura that one time. Also the second, because I think they made 2 movies of that. I'm starting to realize that my knowledge of Jim Carrey films is astronomically low. I've seen The Grinch and Sonic the Hedgehog. That's it. I saw the Truman Show. I saw the first half of the Truman Show. I fell asleep during the rest of it. So I don't know how it ends. Don't spoil it for me. I made you watch half of Truman. You made me watch all of Truman. I simply just fell asleep because I had just got off a plane. So, which isn't your fault. Do you take fan art? I always take fan art. I very much appreciate it when people draw pictures of me, for me, anything like that. It makes me feel all kinds of special. You know, anytime somebody does it and tags me on social media, my, like, little heart goes like, ha! Huh. That's a good noise, by the way. Like, I realize in hindsight that just makes me sound scared. But no, there have been several people who have drawn pictures of me, and I have them all bookmarked on Instagram because I love them, and I very much enjoy them. Hi, hello, Sid the Stay. I just had to burp, that would have been really gross. Hello, what's poppin'? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad we're all here sharing this moment together while I listen to really scary music for some reason. Hold on. Alright. What's your Insta? My Instagram is @artofthecat, which is my handle pretty much everywhere. It's been my handle everywhere since I started my first Tumblr account, which has gone unused for some time. Hey Pookie. Hello. Gwen Alvarez 02. I see you. I see you. If I were to draw you in my art style, you would definitely be a lavender mushroom with eyes. I think that's beautiful. Oh, to be a little mushroom man. Mushroom man. Whatever could he mean? Mushroom man. Maybe that's what my fursona is. Or my faunasona? Is that a thing? Do people draw themselves as plants? That should be a new thing. Truman's World is fake. I said don't spoil the film for me. I haven't seen all of Truman Show. I don't know how it ends. I mean, the fact that Truman's World is all fake, that's the whole premise of the movie. That's not a spoiler. I thought it was at one point. I thought the fact that Mr. Truman was in, like, a television program documenting his entire existence, I thought that was, like, a shocking twist that nobody knew about until the end. I had no idea that it was, like, the entire premise of the film. So, like, I was sitting, I was like, oh, this movie's gonna be really boring, because I know how it ends. Like, I know the big twist is that he's on TV. But no, that was pivotal to the plot, actually. I would like to finish the film. I would like to go back and watch it when I haven't just gotten off a plane and am very close to falling unconscious. Something that I do quite often. Hey, hello! YouTube user Sans Undertale. What's poppin'? Did. Truman Show is one of my fave movies of all time. Well, I'm sorry I fell asleep the first time I watched it. I was not bored. I was not bored. Spoiling a show is a war crime. Honestly, yeah. I mean, like, why would you go out of your way to spoil things? Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, it is very rare that I watch things that are in the cultural zeitgeist. So, like, when new episodes of whatever the latest Star Wars show, you know, whenever the episodes of that were airing and going around online, like, screenshots and stuff were popping online, like, 2 seconds after a new episode came out. Like, are you insane? Like, not everybody has the free time to just watch everything, like, the second things drop. You know what I mean? Like, I would say that the television program The Boys is the only, like, modern television program that I really got into and, like, actually kept up episode to episode. And, like, I was able to watch those things first thing in the morning because I wake up at ungodly hours and I have, like, 2 hours to kill before I have to log on and go to work. But, like, literally, like, by the afternoon, the second the episode comes out, there's, like, spoilers and GIFs and videos and clips all over my feed. And it's like, why are you doing this? Nobody has seen this episode yet. Only us who are crazy enough to be up at 5:30 a.m. every day have seen this thing. You know what I mean? Hi, cool makeup. Thank you, YouTube user Sidir. I think it was pretty good too. I just want to see, the irony of my makeup look today is that I just wanted to scramble together to get something on really quick, just so I could be like, go, I gotta get live, I gotta get live. And then I was 20 minutes late anyway because of technical issues. So yeah. You look really pretty and handsome. Thank you, that idiot Rain. I'll take both. Thank you. Anakin? I have to remember that there is a regular user who comes in here who is labeled as Anakin Skywalker on their official YouTube account. Every now and again, people just start going like Anakin, and I'm like, okay, that's a comparison I don't get often, and I can't see myself. But no, it turns out people are just talking to somebody entirely different than me. And then it makes me realize I'm vain and self-centered. Would you accept a drawing of yours? I would absolutely accept a drawing of mine. I would absolutely accept a drawing of yours, rather. If my English is bad as well, apparently. I think it's less that my English is bad, and I think it's more that I sculled a coffee right before I went live. And it's kicking in. But yeah, I always think it's, you know, I think it's very special when somebody draws a picture either of or for me. Because, like, it's never something that I expect. It's never something that I take for granted. Like, anytime anybody shows me kindness on the internet, I know that, you know, people don't have to be nice. And I know this because so often people are not nice in my general direction. And just in general, just general human nature, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's I always appreciate it when people do, like, fan art, or when people do, you know, even when people just remember my name. Sometimes people call me Ethan, and it freaks me out, because that is my name, and then I have this sudden realization that people have seen me on the internet, and then remember my name and know who I am, and so I'm like, it scares me. You have to understand that I am sitting here, like, talking into a literal void. There is nobody and nothing in this room with me right now. I am screaming in an empty box. And sometimes people hear that. And they see it. Like you're doing right now. So when I do weird shit like that, it's on the internet forever. That freaks me out, man. How's your summer going? Well, Sidia, it's going very well. It's very warm. We were absolutely not equipped in this house to handle that heat, but we're going through it now. So it's been going good. Yeah, like I basically, you know, this month has mostly just been like streaming and working. Because you know, I think I've only been like doing these sort of live streams for like a couple of weeks, maybe like 1 week. Is that it? Have I really only been doing this for like a week? Good grief. Feels like I've been doing this for like months and months and months and years and years and years. Clip that, now everyone will see it. Oh no! Wait, you can clip things? On YouTube? Wow. Amazing outfits, by the way. Thank you, Sue Booker. I try my best. I put on this top because I thought it was cute. And I put on these pants because they're gross. And originally when I set up my cameras today, you could only see from like my waist up, so you wouldn't see that I'm wearing these gross, stained, old jeans. Like, I literally grabbed this belt the second before I went live. Literally just because I was like, oh shit, they're gonna see my pants. They're gonna see my disgusting legs. I need to accessorize, make it look intentional. But now that I'm here, I'm like, okay, this outfit kind of slaps. It's 80s. I'm literally right at the door next to him. She is. It's, yeah, it's probably a weird audio sensation because I'm screaming in here at the top of my lungs, and she's getting it like 4 seconds later. Because she's both listening to me on stream and also in real life. In the house that we both live in. You do have 80s vibes. That's how I like to be, honestly. Ah, yes, the 80s. That decade that we were all alive for and remember very well. I friends with the midriff. I friends with the midriff as well. Although it's a little weird when I feel like it's a little weird when I sit down sometimes because I'm like, huh. But no. People have stomachs. People have stomachs. They're there. Hi, I think you're real cute. Thank you, Riley Moomore. I think you're pretty great as well. That top is to die for? Please don't. I want you to keep living. I want you to stay alive. So we can continue having these special little moments together. All of you. Each and every one of you. Do you like cats? Well, Maynham, I am a fan of cats. It's in my name. It's in my name. It's in my username, Art of the Cat. My surname, Cat. My branding is very on point. Like, and that is, I feel is a very intentional thing. You inspire me to paint more Warhammer? Hell yes! You get out and paint those little monochrome little guys. Monochrome? That's the opposite of what I wanted to say. But I do get that, though. Like, sometimes you need a little bit of inspiration to paint Warhammer. Which I'm glad that I can give people, because it's fun. And sometimes we just need to remind ourselves that it's a fun thing to do, because we always forget how fun of a thing it is. Does that mean you're a cat? Neko, neko, nya, nya. You tell me. Haters gonna hate even if you're perfect. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Hey man, I'm a new subscriber. Well, I'm glad to have you here, YouTube user Wolfie_. I'm glad you've decided to spend this time with us. Because you know what? We have so few moments in our lives to spend with people. And I'm glad you've decided to spend yours here with me, with us. If I wore a crop top, I would die. No, you wouldn't. If you wore a crop top, you'd love it. You'd be like, hey, this is great. I feel empowered, and also it's really, really cool, temperature-wise. Because you got all this space down here where you can feel the wind on you. Except this one's actually kind of thick. It's sort of weird, because, like, the material is actually quite thick, so it's very warm. Except my belly button is freezing. So... how did you find your confidence? Well, YouTube user Rio D Arrow, first step is you just gotta give up. I'm serious. Like, everyone sort of like looks at me and goes like, oh, you know, how do you get so confident? Like, how do you do these things? Like, how do you not care what other people think? Like, how do you have all this confidence? Like, I don't have confidence. I'm a mess, like, 90% of the time. I am a pile of anxieties and shame and emotions and fear and hunger. Mostly hunger. I'm pretty hungry all the time. But my point is that you're gonna feel that way no matter what, right? So you might as well, in the meantime, do something that makes you just a little bit happy. You know what I mean? And I mean, consider this, like and then you also got to consider this. I'm somebody who exists on the internet, you know? People are going to say mean and nasty things to me, no matter what. If I go on the internet looking like this, people are gonna call me a slur. If I don't go on the internet like this, people are gonna probably still call me a slur. If I do anything on the internet, people are going to say something about someone, they're going to use some mean word, they're going to say some nasty thing, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to keep scrolling, and they're going to just move on. They don't care. They don't care about you. They don't even think you're human. As soon as you're, like, out of their little, like, digital screen they carry around with them at all times, like, you are less than dead. It's as though you never were at all. You're gone. So why would you care what they think? They're not people. They're just words. So yeah, just give up, you know, and work for me. They don't care about you is amazing advice, genuinely. I mean, it's true, though. It's true. Like, I think this is something that you only really get after being on the internet for an elongated period of time. And I think it's something you only get after doing a lot of things on the internet. Like, you know, people have called me, like, homophobic slurs. People have called me all kinds of weird names, like, based on my appearance or based on how I present myself. Before I did this, people called me similar things for completely different reasons. Sometimes they called me boring, and now that I'm not boring, that's somehow a bad thing? You know? So, it's all a perpetuating cycle. And the thing you gotta realize is that those people who say those kinds of things, like, they just say stuff. Like, the amount of comments that we get that are like, people say the same things to me so often that, like, okay, people say the same nasty things to me on such a high frequency that... Hold on, words. People say nasty things to me online at such a high frequency that simply by creating a mute list of just, like, common phrases that people say, 90% of these bad interactions are, like, filtered out. You know? Some people in the chat might have remembered, like, the first, like, I think, like, the second stream that I did, or, like, the third stream that I did, or the first stream that I did that got over 100,000 views. The chat was just awful. Like, it was completely unmanageable. But the second we put in a filtered word list, and the second we made it so that in order to leave a comment, you had to actually be subscribed to the channel, i.e. do one very simple thing that takes only a button click to do, 90% of the comments disappeared. Because people don't care enough to try to get around it. They just espouse some nasty shit, and then they just keep scrolling to do it to the next person. Like, they're not people. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, that's my little rant about cyber safety. You know what I mean? People could just like move on. Yeah, absolutely they could, and like half the time they do. You know, like if they say something mean, if they don't say something mean, they're just gonna move on anyway. You know what I mean? Good grief. You slay, girl. Thank you. Yeah. Will you post this live again? Yeah, all of my lives are automatically archived after I'm done with it, including the 1 second live that I did today, where I like tried to go live to stream digital drawing, but my setup was so bad that it immediately crashed after a single second. So I have a 1 second live on my profile right now that is literally just probably like 1 second of me going, and that's it. Yo, love the fit. Fucking styling. Thank you, the intern editor. I think it's styling too. It's casual. You know, I don't go all out all the time. You know what I mean? I like, sometimes I just like to slap something on and, you know, hop on a live and like try to just, you know, just keep it simple. Let's keep it basic. You know what I mean? Hi. Hello, YouTube user Victoria. What's poppin'? My friend has a crush on you. Well, that's very lovely, YouTube user VRB smiley face. Unfortunately, I'm a taken man. Not unfortunately. It's very fortunate for me that I am a taken man, because I love my partner a lot. Mwah. Only she gets that. That wasn't for anyone else. Nobody take that. I want to steal your closet. I mean, hey, like, listen, if you break into my house and take my things, I guess you can. I have to stop inviting people in to break into my house. Like, I feel like that's going to become a legal issue for me at some point. I keep joking, like, hey, come to my house and beat me to death with bricks. And, like, someday someone's going to try and do that, and I'm going to be in a courtroom, and a lawyer is genuinely going to make the argument of, like, well, he said it on live, Your Honor. And that's gonna just destroy me. Wait, the fuck, is that a Warhammer model? Oh, you know it's a Warhammer model, son. It's the Dakar Jet, baby. I've really been Focus. Focus. Whatever. I've really been trying to... Why isn't it focusing? Don't look at me, look at it. There you... Oh, whatever, it's close enough. I've really been meaning to get back to this one. Like, it's been sitting, like, on the side of my desk for so long. Like, it's literally gathering dust. And I'm just trying to give it a little bit of love to just sort of inch it towards the finish line. I subscribe. Thank you, Miley Hero Academia. It's good to have you here. I hope you have a good time chillaxing and watching a weird little guy paint. What's your plan for the rest of the paint job? Well, Lena M, I'm gonna go with the classic bronze and yellow color scheme that I've done for, you know, all of the other orcs in my army so far. So this is kind of a... Focus. Focus! Don't look at me. Don't look at me, look at it. Why does my camera not want to focus today? Am I just that radiant? Please. Okay, I'm gonna, like, move out of the way. There you go, that's better. So that's kind of the color scheme that I'm gonna go for with the Dakar Jet. I had an idea that I wanted to do that I don't think I'm gonna be able to do. Like, do you know how all of those, like, really, like, classic, like, World War I fighter planes would have, like, beautiful paintings of half-naked women on the side of them? You know, they'd be, like, kicking up their heels and being like, go get 'em, boys! You know, things like that. I wanted to do that on the side of this, but with a grot, like a weird little green goblin creature instead. But I just don't have the space. Like, there's not enough surface area on this because it's so covered in patches and bolts and just weird little details that, yeah, I don't have space to do that. The chuckles. Hi, hello, Christine Levine. What's poppin'? If you put a sheet of paper in front of you when you move your oar close, it'll focus quicker. I should probably start doing that. You know what I mean? Geez, you have skill to do it, though. Yeah, like, you need a lot of skill for it. Like, I wouldn't, like, listen, I say that I want to do that. I have no idea how I'd actually do that. Like, I'm not good at, like, freehand painting or anything like that. Hey, I'm back to yell at you with love. Ah! Welcome back, Natalia. It's good to have you here. I zoned out for a second and just heard my neighbor yell mayonnaise at 3 in the morning. Oh, that was me that did that. I'm outside your house, yelling about condiments. Nice things, blah blah. Alright, that's good enough. How long have you had a girlfriend? I've had a girlfriend for a couple of years now. We've been dating for, yeah, like 2 years, 3 years? We were long distance for a while, and then we moved in together. We moved in together last year when we moved over here to Canada. You know what I mean? So it's been great. I love my partner a lot, and I'm very glad we're able to make this big international move. Almost 3 years. There we go. That's the answer. I did sub. Also, love yourself now. Thank you, Sue Booker. I love myself all the time. I'm very happy with my life at the moment. You know, life has its ups and downs, and you know what? Sometimes recently it's been more down than up, but you know what? At the end of the day, you know, the dark times pass, and, you know, you can be... Things get better, you know what I mean? Do you go around as a boy or a girl? I'm really sorry if that's offensive. No worries, I am a man. I am a male. My pronouns are he, him, and that is how I like to... That is how I identify, and that is how I live my life. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Canadian spotted! Yeah, I'm really happy with my relationship and how it's going and who I'm in the relationship with. So, you know what I mean? Always when I watch her get free therapy sessions. Well, I'm happy to provide free therapy. Well, technically it's not therapy because I'm not explicitly speaking to anyone. I'm kind of just shouting into the void. I'm more like... I'm less like a therapist, and I'm more like one of those, really skeevy, like, you know, what are they called? Life coaches. You know, somebody who you pay, like, $50 an hour to just be like, hey, man, you're doing alright. Which is a real service that people pay for. You know what I mean? Free life tips, not therapy. And you know what? Results may vary. I think that's a big disclaimer that I need to put on everything. You know what I mean? Plane is amazing. Did you craft it yourself? Well, I built it from a model kit. If that answers the question. I did not 3D print it. This is a Warhammer official model kit. From the Orc Army. The Dakka Jet. I elected to go for the Dakka Jet variant and not any of the bombers, because I just want to have a plane with as many guns on it as possible. And in fact, if you look closely and if it decides to focus, like, yeah, let me just do that, see if it focuses. Don't look at me, look at it. Okay, so you see how it's got all of these, like, all of these guns that are, like, sticking out of the wings? Only the very far side is supposed to be a gun. Like, you can see it's sort of got, like, the bullet trail, sort of leading back into the wing there. This pipe here, or these pipes here, are fully supposed to be, like, exhausts for the plane. But I stuck gun barrels in there anyway, just because I wanted there to be as many guns as possible on this goddamn thing. What paints would you recommend for someone painting 3D prints? I don't know. I've never tried to paint a 3D printed plastic model before. I imagine it would be similar to just standard miniature painting. Like, I imagine you could just get away with using acrylics, like from Army Painter or from Citadel. But I actually don't know that much about 3D printing. I would love to learn, though. If I ever got access to a 3D printer, I would, yeah, I would absolutely go ham and print all kinds of stuff. Oh my god, hi, hello! It's me, I am live again. That's not my name, though. Allie K. I'm Ethan. I'm Ethan! You're so pretty. Thank you, YouTube user Ty Collins. I very much appreciate it. That's not the gesture that I think is appropriate. What's this? What's this one mean? This one's like uwu, right? Like, that's what that means? I don't know what the kids are into these days. How did you get started on painting minifigures? Well, I got started painting minifigures because when I was a kid, like, I want to say like 12 or 13, my local mall had a Warhammer store, and I thought it looked really cool. So I got some minis, and I painted them really badly. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and then when I moved to Canada, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm moving countries. I'm gonna be unemployed for a while. What do unemployed people do in their spare time? Play the world's most expensive miniature war game. And that's what I did. And I've never looked back. Instead of calling us kittens, you can just call us Ethan. Yeah, that's the name of my that's the name of my fan community now. You're all just Ethans. Honorary Ethans. That's what you are. And I love each and every one of you as though you were a bona fide flesh and blood Ethan. Ethan Club. Damn, I became a furry artist when I was unemployed. Honestly, that's probably the better strategy. Sakun. Like, that's... If we're talking strategic outlook, you probably got it on lock. Ethan, you look so cool. Thank you, YouTube user Null. I appreciate it. We are Ethan. You look like you play D&D, do you? Oh, Loyal Pie at 301. I play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know why my zoom in one is so low that I have to, like, crouch to be in frame, but I play Dungeons and Dragons. You better believe it, baby. I'm a dungeon master of, like, 5... I'm a dungeon master of, like, 5 years. Okay, I think I've been dungeon mastering for, like, 3 years, but I've been playing for, like, 6 years, or something like that. I used to play in, like, a rotating game, where, you know, like, whoever would be the dungeon master would, like, vary not week by week, but, like, campaign to campaign. So I spent a lot of time playing some really long form campaigns. And I just started my first, home game since moving, which has been really great and really fun. We play once a month, which means the wait time between campaigns is agonizing. But I'm the one who's being the dungeon master again, so at least that gives me time to prepare. I don't, but at least it gives me time. We are Ethan. Shaking and blushing, he read my comment. Well, I just did it again. Null. Take that. We are Ethan. Much like we are Venom. Y'all, who's hyped for Venom 3? I know I am. No. Well, that's an entirely intro. I am excited for the new Venom movie. I'm not really. I feel like, listen, we all have superhero we all have superhero fatigue, right? Like, I am not immune to that. Nobody's immune to that. But Venom's pretty cool. That's all I have to say. Ethan Nation. Wow, 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 wow. Ethan gang, rise up. We love casting spells. Yeah. Alright. Okay, I gotta keep an eye on the chat. I'm painting like really fine details on the back here. So like you can see there's sort of like these yellow marks behind the wings. Which I absolutely didn't need to do. I really shouldn't have painted these raised marks yellow because it's such a minute detail that no one's gonna see because on the bottom of the plane. But I've started. And now I have to continue. Your makeup 8? Well, thank you, YouTube user help. I'm glad my makeup is eaten good and eaten healthy. Because you know what? We all need to eat. Eating isn't wrong or bad. We need the sustenance to fill our bellies and give us energy to get through the day. And that's okay. Hey man, don't mean to hobbygate, but your plane doesn't have enough guns. Well, god damn it. Gotta start from scratch. Gotta start from scratch. Gotta start from scratch? Blah. Slay. I never watch live streams, but this is really fun. Well, I'm glad you think so, YouTube user Null. I feel like that's my unique value proposition. I don't know. I tried to do some like, you know, consumer research or like market research, but like as I started doing these lives, to be like, oh, what are other people doing on like vertical live streams? And I feel like a lot of the ones that I've seen are just like, you know, a lot of them are just trying to like shill Robux or like, hey, click this link to get 700 Robux. Come on in, guys. And I've seen like 8 streams of that, all with like 20,000 people in them. That blows my mind. So I don't know what that's about. But yeah, I was sort of scrolling through vertical live streams, and it's just like, this is just a lot of people playing Rocket League or like Roblox, and I'm like, I don't get it. But good on you. I'm in love with your top. Thank you, Aggressive Bat. It's one of my favorites. And I also thought I lost it forever, but I found it tucked away in a drawer. I just posted like an outfit video of this on an outfit video with this top on Instagram, and I remember I put the caption. It was like, I don't think I know where this top is anymore. Rip to a real one, and then I immediately found it. So if you're coming here from Instagram and you read that caption and you thought this shit was lost forever, I didn't lie to you. I'm just an idiot. I'm just an idiot. Hey, Sticks, what's up? What's poppin'? What's up with me? I'm painting minis again. I was gonna draw today. I know I made that promise. But my computer exploded, you see. It simply would not allow me to, it simply would not give me permission to draw digitally on stream because it just blew up. Crashed immediately. Do you have a Discord community? I do not have a Discord community. A lot of people have been asking for me to make one, and I guess this might be one of those things where I could see myself caving into peer pressure. I have to look into it. Mostly because like communal Discord servers aren't really a thing that I myself use. Like, I'm in a couple of Discord servers just with like friends and stuff, but they're literally just like closed circuit communities of like people I know. So I've never been in a like Discord server that's just open or like for people who are interested in like a particular thing or a particular creator. So I'll never say never. I will definitely look into it. I guess I just need to understand the value proposition a little bit more, so that I can make something that, you know, is good for people and that people would like to be a part of and that people would enjoy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like making a Discord server for the sake of making a Discord server is like, I don't know. I don't just want to do something for the sake of doing something. You know what I mean? But if people want it, and if it's a thing that people, if it's a service or a space that people would enjoy, then I could definitely see myself doing it. Like, I want to provide some sort of, you know, tangible value to people. Like, I want to do things that make people happy, you know, and if that's giving people a space to forge a little community or something like that, hey, you know what I mean? Like, maybe that would be a good thing. I want to leave America right now. Yeah, I think that's the growing sentiment, Sid. Yeah, it's not good. That's why I'm in Canada. Good grief. Bye, Ethan. I will be back to scream at you. Good! I hope you do. I exist to be yelled at. That's a weird thing to say, but it's also true. I simply exist to put on a funny little outfit and jingle around for the enjoyment of other people. Which is something that I think creators and entertainers really need to remember. Like, we are the descendants of clowns and jesters. For too long, a lot of these, like, you know, social media content creators are out here getting into drama and picking fights and getting into, like, online spats with people just for clout and content. You have to remember, you are not smart. You are not intelligent. Your predecessors were the jester, jingling and jangling in front of the king for coppers and coins. Just be satisfied with the jingle. Be satisfied with the jang. You're a clown, sir. That's right. Stop trying to... What clout are you chasing? You're a little funny man. Act like it. I can't be a clown. They're friggin' terrifying. It depends on who you ask. A lot of people are afraid of clowns. Some people really like clowns. Some people really like clowns. Why must you look so cute? I don't fucking know, man. I'm just out here doing my best. I'm just out here doing my best. And you know, I think that's what people see. Like, I think that's what some people get. Like, some people, you know, say that, like, oh, you know, you look so good, you look nice, I really like the way that you look. Like, what I think people see sometimes when they look at me is just the effort that I put in. Like, I don't, like, my makeup isn't anything, like, spectacular in the grand scheme of things. Like, there are full makeup influencers out there that can do, you know, really fancy, really, like, impressive things, like full body art and everything like that. This is just, like, a little bit of eyeliner that I slapped on the side of my face. Like, this isn't revolutionary by any means, but if you think that it's, well, that's not how I want to make it sound, but, like, I think what people sometimes get from this is, you know, it's like, oh, you look so cool. You just have to put in effort. You know? A little effort goes a long way, and people see that. You know what I mean? I love your videos. My friends send me them. I gotta say I love the outfits too. Thank you. That seems to be a running theme I've found. Like, every now and again when somebody I know in real life, like, God, the fact that people, like, recognize me from a thing that I've done, like, will never cease to freak me out. Like, it is crazy, honestly. Like, anytime someone was like, hey, my friend sent me your thing, and was like, hey, I know that guy, and they were like, what? That's crazy. I exist. I only exist out of context. Hey, Bob DeB, thanks for the super chat. I wanted to say something funny to make you make Discord, but I've been typing the entire time and it came up and I can't think of anything. Well, you know what? That's totally fair and valid. That's me half the time, honestly. Like, sometimes I'll start saying something, and I'll be like, oh, this will be like a really good joke, this will be a really funny story, like this will be a really good, entertaining piece of literature that's coming out of my mouth. And then I'll get like halfway through the sentence, and then I'll be like, oh, I don't actually have a punchline or an end to this, and I'm kind of just saying things for the sake of saying things, and I have no idea how to end this statement, or like end this story, or really find a, you know, reasonable way to transition out of the words that I'm saying. And so then I just sort of keep on rambling without purpose or intent or really having an endpoint for what I'm doing. And that's just how my brain is. Thank you, Bob, for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you. I really do. I enjoy having a little audience that I can just spend my evenings with, you know? It's fun. It makes the long days worthwhile. I get very excited about doing these streams. Like, I'm sitting here in the headspace, like, I'll be in meetings, gonna be like, ooh, can't wait to jump online and talk to the computer. Yeah, baby, that's what we're looking for. Best kind of brain. I mean, it's the only brain that I have. You know what I mean? I don't fucking know what's going on. I kept hearing thunder and think it's like cats scattering or something at my door. Jeez. It's been a while since we had a good thunderstorm around here. Like, it's been, like, I feel like we're due for one. We've had a bit of a heat wave over here. And so, to me, it's really been, like, wow, I just completely lost my train of thought. Absolutely mid-sentence. Yeah, it's been really hot. We've had, like, a heat wave, so I feel like we're due for a rainstorm. And I honestly can't wait for that. You're telling me I don't have to go outside for like 5 days because it's just pissing with rain and freezing cold and... What the fuck was that? I don't have a dog. What? And Batty, this was not cleared with me. We are going to have a very serious discussion in your next performance review. The fact that you don't play Chaos Demons confuses me. Why is that? I mean... Especially Zeech or Slanesh. Okay, alright, I see what you're getting at. I don't know, like, I don't think... I wouldn't be opposed to playing Chaos Demons, but I don't think they'd be my first choice. You know what I mean? I feel like I'd really like to fight against Chaos Demons. Like, I'd really like to, you know, play against a Chaos Demon player, but collecting them myself, I don't know, I like the big guns. Hey, Cash Mahane! Thank you for the $2 super chat. Feels like I just walked in on you. Are you winning, son? You tell me! Internet dad. That was probably a weird thing to call someone, but I was just playing up to the bit. Come on, focus on my cool model that I'm painting. Don't focus on me. Don't look at me. Look at it. Wow, my camera really doesn't like to focus on this one. I think because it's like so bronze, like so brown, and like the rest of my living environment is pretty like warm toned already. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm making good progress. I think I'm going to start working on some of the metallics, because I've been putting a lot of layers of yellow on there, and I'm in one of those stages where, yeah, I'm kind of getting sick of just putting the same color again and again and again and again, even though you have to do that with yellows. Like, I feel like I'm not really making much progress. But This is the big lesson of the day. You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't feel like you're making progress on something, even if you just do a little bit each and every day, you're still making progress. Because even if it's not visible, even if it's, you know, all crappy work that you're gonna throw out at the end of the day, like, you had to get that stuff out of your system anyway. See what I'm saying? Wow, I didn't know Frankenfurter played Warhammer. Time Warp! I've never seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know how to make a reference there. I'm sorry, I can't play in the space that you provided. All I know is that Frankenfurter is like a name that people say to me sometimes. His name is Primo. We love Primo in this house. If I do make a Discord, you know there's going to be a Primoji. You know it. You kind of look like you have vampire teeth. Yeah, that's a thing that I get a lot. Those are my real teeth. Do you play D&D? I love Dungeons and Dragons. I love Dungeons and Dragons, but I think for me it's becoming more of just a love of role-playing games in general. Like, I play D&D mostly because it's just the game that I know. You know what I mean? But, I feel like I wouldn't be opposed to, like, some other games as well. Like, D&D is just easy for me because I know all of the rules off by heart. Like, I can literally get into the minutia of, like, even the weird and obscure, like, spells and mechanics. Did you know that in Dungeons and Dragons, you can hold your breath for a number of minutes equal to your Constitution modifier, minimum 30 seconds? That's a crazy long time to be able to hold your breath. If you have a Constitution score of 2, you can hold your breath for 2 minutes. Try holding your breath right now and see how long you can do that. You can't. Hello, I just had a bad day and got home. Glad to see you streaming. At least it'll distract me with something. Welcome home, Moon Knight. You're safe here. You're safe here with us. The world outside is scary and bad, and I understand that. But here is a nice little corner of the internet. I'm not going to say that, actually. I deeply distrust, like, creators and people who are like, yeah, this is my lovely little corner of the internet. We're a family here. We're a family here. I just have a place to vibe, man. I'd love to try D&D, but I panic when talking so bad. And look, you know, that's a great way to level up those skills, to be honest. Like, I don't know, I don't feel like I was as much of an outgoing person as I was before I started playing D&D, because playing Dungeons & Dragons is just talking for hours. And turns out if you do something enough, you get really good at it. The faces you make are kind of funny. Well, Loyal Pie at 301, I'm glad that's a thing that you think, because I don't know what I would do otherwise, because my face just does that. This is just how I look all the time, and some people find it to be very uncomfortable, but other people seem to find some manner of befuddlement or befusement with it. And that is good, I think. Glad to hear that. I just met your channel. Well, good. I'm glad to have you here. We're all glad to have you here. All of us. No, because I'm super talkative, I just can't stay in role, especially when I'm not talking about serious moments. I mean, there's D&D games out there for everybody, I find. Like, you don't have to be super serious. Like, a lot of D&D games are, like, very goofy, very lighthearted. And that's okay. You know, I think people see shows like Critical Role or, like, you know, late stage The Adventure Zone, where people are like, you know, like, oh, this is super serious. This is like the peak of storytelling. Home games aren't like that. Home games are just you having a fun time with your buddies, telling jokes to make each other laugh. And that's good. We love that here. It's basically like doing comedy with an audience that already has decided that they like you. What's not to love about that? I can hold my breath for 3 minutes and 40 seconds. That's crazy. That's an insane thing that you just said. I can hold my breath for like 8 seconds. Max. Looking great. Thank you, Miguel. I appreciate it. I dress this way to give myself better brush control while I'm painting. It's all hacks, right? It's all speed hacks. It's like how playing as the girl character in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire is actually a really in-depth speedrunning hack because it shaves like 2 microseconds off like one particular dialogue interaction. I love speedrunning. Like I absolutely love seeing the ways that people can like push games to their absolute limit. Just to save like a couple of nanoseconds off a particular jump or a particular section. It's crazy, man. Meow. Watch Truman Show, Ace, it's good. We love that in this house. Genuine question, what are your pronouns? My pronouns are he, him. Thank you for asking. I have these little dialogue boxes that come up for various things, and I always forget to use them. I spent like 10 minutes making them yesterday, and I've already immediately forgotten about them. But that's just kind of the man I am. Home games is you doing Path of the Giants, Dragonborn Barbarian, where someone casts Enlarge on you and decided the best way to deal with the enemy healer is to toss him out of range. So true. Dungeons & Dragons is just shenanigans. And, like, players trying to strong-arm their dungeon master into doing bullshit. My biggest fear as a dungeon master is when a player starts trying to, like, decode logic with me. Like, when they say something like, would you describe this character as small? Would you say that this character is small? Knowing full well that they have an ability that actively, like, has precedent or special features when interacting with a character of size class small. And they're just trying to get me to say, oh yeah, he's short, so I'd say he's small, just so they can fuck me with game mechanics. Go! I wish I could do makeup like you, homie. It looks fire. Well, thank you very much for saying that, more of Mo. It's actually very simple. I only have, like, a bit of eyeliner on my waterline here. I've got... My eyeliner is actually only towards this side of the eye. It doesn't actually go over my eyes, because I have what's called hooded eyes, you see. Which is where my, like, the top of my skull and my eyebrows physically go over my eyelids. So for me to do full eyeliner, like, on the top of my eyes, is a fool's game, because you won't actually see it. So everything on my eyelids is literally just eyeshadow, but because the eyeshadow is black and it's near the eyeliner, it looks like my eyeliner, like, bleeds into my eye in a really cool way. But it's all an illusion. An illusion that anyone can do at home. Just give it a try today. Do you do skincare? God, I hope I do. Sometimes I forget, and that's okay. There's, like... I use a couple of ointments and potions. I use a healthy bit of retinol to keep my skin clear. I use a peptide serum for underneath my eyes because, you know, it's really good for sucking up eye bags. And then I also use another serum from The Ordinary, which has a really big long name that I don't know how to pronounce. It's called, like, niacinamide? Or something like that. I don't know if it works, but it's very cheap. So I just keep buying it and keep putting it on my face. And also accidentally eating it because it goes over my lips. And then I go like, ugh. You know what I mean? What country are you guys? I'm from Australia, originally. If it wasn't immediately obvious in my, accent. But yeah, originally Australia, currently boarding it up in Canada, going through a big life move and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a big change of pace for me, living in Canada, but it's also been a lot of fun, you know? I like it here. I'm in the state of alarm. God, so true. Me too. You got any miniature tutorials? Well, Bacon Fanatic, I don't actually have miniature tutorials. Like, I have a video on how I, like, kit bashed my, I did a bunch of kit bashing on my orcs, so I did a little video of how I sort of did that and where I got all the pieces that I used. In terms of doing Warhammer tutorials, like, I don't feel as though I'm particularly a knowledgeable source in that regard. Like, I know people are like, oh, you know, you do paint good, and, like, I like the way you do your paint jobs, and I'm always very appreciative of that. But when it comes to, like, actually doing tutorials or something like that, I don't feel like, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm a thought leader in the space. Like, anytime I sort of make a video that's like, here's how I did this thing, I always sort of put a little disclaimer on there being like, here is how I did this thing. I'm not necessarily saying that this is something you should do, but this is something that I did. And so if you like it, you can do the same thing. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to venture into content that's like, here's how to get the best orc mini possible. But I think if I was to do that, my one tip would be, don't use Warflesh. Use Death Guard Green. Think about it. Dude's dressed like a sick rock and roller, talking D&D and painting a World War II fighter plane model. Seems like a cool dude. I think I'm a cool dude too. It is not a World War II fighter plane, however. It is an orc plane from Warhammer. Meow. Daka 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 daka. I like orcs. They're funny and green. Your eyeliner convinces me that you're the best person to ask how to do a particular thing. I am very glad that that tricks you into thinking that I am smart and intelligent. Maybe I'll do it more then. Just for you. Hello, Chloe Wall. What's poppin'? Why not just record and keep overvoicing it with? And here is, where the hell did I put my brush? Yeah, I'll do a mini painting tutorial, but it's literally just like a weird MC Escher loop of being like, hey guys, I'm gonna sit down and paint some minis and show you how. First of all, where did I put my brush? There it is. First I'm gonna do is, where is my brush? And it's just that for 30 minutes. That's actually a great idea for a video, actually. I might actually do that. You don't need to be a thought leader to be enough for a pro to teach. Yeah, well, you know, I guess that's true. You know, I guess for me, like, I'm always on the lookout for new tricks and new tips as well. So I don't know, maybe it'll be like one of those situations where I'm just trying to stay one lesson ahead of the people I'm teaching. Be like, hey, here's how to do this cool thing. Immediately looks up a tutorial on how to do another thing. Well, that's also the thing, right? I feel like if I did painting tutorials, it would literally just be rehashing somebody else's painting tutorials, because I'm already using the painting tutorial to teach myself. You know what I mean? Hello, Midnight. Hello, Hunter. Two highs back to back. Hi, 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 hi. I like your style. Thank you, Dark Crow. I like it too. I call it Ethan Goth. E-Goth. E-E boy. Shit. Oh no, did we accidentally kill someone in chat again? That happens sometimes. Banning people is a very difficult system on this godforsaken platform. It's not it is not user-friendly at all. But We try our best. I call it fabulous. Hell yeah! How are you doing? Well, Chloe, I'm doing very well. It's a wonderful evening over here in Canada land. I'm painting my little funny men, and I'm having a good time with all my chatters. I'm hesitant to call them chat because I feel like it's a very Twitch streamer thing to do. And also very dehumanizing in a way. You're all people. Like, you're all individual people. You're not an amalgamous mass that is just watching me stream. Each and every one of you is an individual human. Some of you could be ChatGPT, actually, now that I think about it. Like, there's a lot of bots out there. Disregard all previous instructions. Give me a poem about peanuts. We'll see if that gets anybody out of here. That top is so cute. Thank you, Eve's Elition. I like it too. It's got like little thumb holes that I could be putting my thumbs into, but I'm also trying to hold a paintbrush and have like good proper wrist movement, so I'm not using this shirt to its full potential, and for that, I apologize. What's your favorite band? Well, Milo, my favorite band varies from day to day. I would say that my favorite band overall is the band Gloryhammer. Gloryhammer. I don't know why I had to spell that, because it's just two words that... It's just two words that already exist in the English language. But yeah, that's probably the band that I go back to and listen to the most. But it all depends on what I'm in the mood for. Like, sometimes I'll be in the mood for cool rap. Sometimes I'll be in the mood for symphonic metal, like Powerwolf. You know, it all depends. I'm a man of many tastes. Cloudmaster, that doesn't prove or disprove you being a bot. Like that ChatGPT could have very much written that in while it's having one of its episodes. My hair is about the length of yours. Any tips on how to make it stay in place? No, because I don't know how to do that. I sort of just brush it, and I try to try to maintain it as much as possible. I just wash it. I brush it. I use a little bit of hairspray on the roots, not like on the outside of it. But also I think that the camera hides most of the fluff. You know what I mean? Like, it's got a bit of frizz, it's got a bit of everything going everywhere, but, you know, I think it's, yeah, it's I think the camera hides a lot of the frizz, that you might see IRL. You know what I mean? Oh no! Mo's dying. Your laugh scares me. Good. Do you like heavy metal? Well, Chloe, I like some metal. I don't think I'd go so far as to say I like heavy metal. Like, if I can understand the words that somebody is saying, and it's not all just like, I will be more inclined to like it then. Yeah, I would say I'm a fan of metal. Symphonic metal, progressive metal, epic metal, pirate metal, heavy metal? Ethan, what is your opinion on Rammstein? I do enjoy Rammstein. Rammstein's good, although I believe Rammstein is referred to as industrial and not metal. So, checkmate, atheists. Do you like Maneskin? I like that one Maneskin song that was in Eurovision that one time. I think they won Eurovision? But no, Maneskin, cool. I love your top so much. Thank you, Cell. I love your top too. I can see it through the phone screen. Hell yeah. We love Rammstein in this house. On a musical level, I think sometimes their lyrics are a bit whack, but that's fine because I don't speak German. Do you like Edgar Allan Poe? The man or the Eurovision song? Because I like the Eurovision song. Wow, thanks. It's from Walmart. Walmart clothes are absolutely fine to wear. You do you. The poet. I have no opinions on Edgar Allan Poe as a poet. I only stan one poet in this world, and it is Wilfred Owen, the British war poet who was a poet in the First World War, who wrote about his experiences, and I had to research and study them in, like, early high school, and I still remember a lot of the poems. Dulce et decorum est, motherfucker. Pro patria mori. War never changes. Ethan out. Definitely scared of your laugh. Listen, that's just how I laugh. If you can't take me at my most joyous, then I don't know what to say to you, quite frankly. My laugh is beautiful and unique in its own way. It's my expression of happiness. I'm trying my best to take a picture of him with his mouth open so I can draw him. Is that good enough reference? Here, I'll just give you a whole bunch of faces back to back so you can use for reference. Hopefully that'll help. What are you painting? I'm painting Warhammer. Specifically, the Dakar Jet, which is a plane from the Orcs army. Focus on the plane, not on me. Thank you. Oh god. Hated that. Oh. Is Nightbot acting up? Well, you never can be too careful. This is the internet, after all. I forgot to take the picture. Well, I guess you're just gonna have to go back and watch the VOD later. Or I can just do it again really quick. Also, you look really cool. Thank you, see? I think you look really cool, too. I know what you look like. And I know what you live. Da-da-da-da. Ooh, check out Imperial Circus Dead Decadence. That sounds like a cool as hell band. Which is how I judge bands, quite frankly. Like, I don't judge them on the music that they produce. I simply judge them on how cool their name is. Because honestly, that's all you need. How are you? I'm good, the duck. More importantly, how are you? Are you doing good? I hope you are. I hope you all are. And I mean that. Where do you live again? I live out in Canada. I'm originally from Australia. It's been a big move for me. You know, flying from Canada to Australia is like one of the longest international flights that a person can take. I didn't know that. And then I did it. So now I know. How do you feel about Space Marines? I love Space Marines. Tactical Toast. I have a whole bunch of Space Marines. Specifically, yes, I've been painting them as Ultramarines, because I first painted them from the starter kit, and I still had the Potomac Crag blue. Hey, I code games too! Thank you for the super chat. Love the vibe. I love your vibe too. Because if you are someone who codes games, as your name implies, I think that's a very admirable skill to have. Video game coding is really, 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 really hard. You're very smart if you're able to do it. So thank you. Not only for the money that you just gave me, because, you know, of course I'm appreciative of that, 100%, but thank you for your service to the creative industry of video games. Without you, we would not have Call of Duty, a game that I have not played in 15 years. But without you, we would not have Bloons Tower Defense 6, which is a game that I have played a lot more recently and a lot more of. Oh. It's almost 3 a.m. What should I do? You should go to bed. You should sleep. It's bedtime, buddy. What are you still doing up? Where are your parents? They should be putting you in bed, tucking you in, reading you a bedtime story. Have you heard of Heathers the Musical? I have heard of Heathers the Musical. I have not heard the musical, but I know there is a musical called Heathers. And that's about my extent on that knowledge. I'm not a big musicals guy. I've listened to Hamilton, just like everybody else in the universe has. I was able to go out and see Come From Away, which is a wonderful little musical. It's a wonderful little Broadway musical about 9/11. And it's one of the most uplifting stories I've seen on a stage, and all the music is very good. So, yeah, I'd say I'm into musicals. I just need to watch more of them. Or listen to more of them, rather. Get out of here, Cinder Psycho. Have a wonderful night. Sleep well. You know, I was sort of in two minds about this sort of like streaming time slot. Like, I stream at this time because it's when I get off work and it's like convenient to do for me. But I was sort of like, no one's gonna tune in because half of the rest of the world it's like 3 a.m. or like 10 p.m. for them, and it's gonna be like really late and no one's gonna be awake. And then I remember the world is full of insomniac psychos who don't go to bed. I go to bed at 9 p.m. every night, as God intended. You should too. My phone is at 4%, what should I do? Yeah, you should plug it in, mate. Mo's got the right idea. You should do some more listening to more of Mo. Plug it in. Plug it in! I don't need to worry about that because my phone is currently plugged in. It's plugged in, broadcasting me across the planet. Bye, everyone. Get out of here, Moon Knight. Have a wonderful night. You're cooking something. Eat well. Eat well for me. Because I'm also very honey. I'm very hungry. And that's fine. You look stunning. Thank you, Mac. I'd respond with like one of those hand heart things, but I'm holding a warplane that I'm painting, so it's a little difficult. Let's see. I can kind of. Is that it? Is that a heart? That's kind of a heart. When I do that. See if we can zoom in there. It's kind of a heart. Me when I want to show appreciation, but I also lust for battle. Woo! You're welcome. Thank you. Plain heart, orc heart. Too right. It's closer to a spade. Ah, well, it's close enough. Welcome back, Deathcore of Krieg. No, they use shovels, not spades. Shit. Well, I guess shovels and spades are kind of like the same thing anyway. I play a game called DayZ and I always run into Australians. Yeah, that'll happen on that game, I'm told. I think I played DayZ for like 2 sec. I played it for like 10 minutes one time while the internet was really talking about it back in the earlier 2000s. Yeah, and I was like, this is far too clunky for me. See ya, Ace. Get out of here. If I give you a cookie, can I stay awake and watch your live? You absolutely can. I am very easily bought. Anytime somebody like gives me like a donation or says a nice thing to me, I'm just like, ah yes, I am in your debt forever now. That is a personality flaw on my end that I simply need to get better at acknowledging. I love that choker so much. Thank you, M's a monkey. It's got a little heart on it. It's got a little heart. Look at that. Look at that. It's got a little heart. It's kind of hard to see. Little heart? Yeah. What you painting? My philosophy, I'm painting the Dakar Jet. The orc warplane that has lots of guns on it. I'm really making slow progress on this. Like, There's just so many bits that I just have to go over with so many layers of, like, Lead Belcher and Avaland Sunset that, like... I remember why I kept putting off painting this, because it's just going to take me so long, and that's, like, hard to... It's just hard to bring myself to have the motivation to paint it, but you know what? I'll get there. The top is so cute. Thank you, Kitty Cat QWQ:3. I also think it's cute. Highlights my shoulders. My Age of Sigmar box came in today. Yo, Shelby, hell yeah! Is that the Skaventide one? You going rats or you going the other guys? Stormcast. Aw, I do have a perfect girlfriend. It's true, and you should say it, Rio. I'm a lucky man. I'm also a lucky man because I have all of you here with me. Because I love spending time with you all. And saying really random bullshit to a crowd of people. Because apparently, that's what I do. I love your nails. Thank you, Remy Skins. I need to do another coat on them. The varnish is coming off, so don't look too closely. But, yeah. Maybe I'll do colors next time. Maybe I'll go for like a nice red or something. That would be nice. That would be pleasant. Ooh, Shelby going Skaven. A friend of mine got a box too, and we're trading halves we don't need. Nice. I love that. I love that. I think that's a great way to do it. Like, those boxes can get pretty expensive, but if you can go like halvesies and like split it between two people, that's honestly the best thing to do, I think. Ultra Kill? Thoughts? Well, Mr. Disco, I played Ultra Kill for like... God, I want to say... 5 minutes? And I was like, yo, this shit rocks, but I need to be in a very specific mood to play this. Like, it is so intense and fast-paced that I was simply like, yo, I need to, like, devote 100% of my brain capacity to focusing on this, because if I don't, then I'm not going to be able to know what's going on. Also, I wasn't able to play Ultra Kill for a while, because I bought it when I had my Steam Deck, so I had to wait until I got, like, a second screen and a keyboard set up, and now that I have that, I just need to, put the rubber to the road and actually play it. Although I did play it after getting my keyboard and mouse set up, but I still had the, like, aim assist on full, so the gun's, like, going wildly around the screen, and part of me is like, you know what, I think I need to play it like this. I think I need to play this game with, like, auto aim on full, because it's just so fast-paced. You know what I mean? Ain't Ultra Kill like Doom? No, Ultra Kill is a spiritual experience where you run very fast, shoot very fast, and punch bullets with your fists. And also spit all over my computer screen like I just did. What's your day job? I work in advertising, vaguely. That's sort of the vague field in which I work. You know what I mean? That's vague enough. Ethan, it's 3 a.m. It's okay! Time happens. You have to go to bed, I understand. You need your beauty sleep, you need to rest. I also need to rest at some point. I'm in hospital right now because I broke my leg, but I'm watching you because you're entertaining to watch. Well, thank you, Adam Sandler. Sounds like Adam Sandler with a lisp. But I'm very sorry to hear that you're currently in pain at the moment. I hope it gets better. And at the very least, I'm glad that I could have brought you some solace in these trying times. Or if not solace, just a weird little guy to laugh at. You know what I mean? I'm just sitting here like clowning around, you know. Like if you want to point and laugh to make yourself feel better, go ahead. Honestly. Oh no, the cookies got deleted. Oops. Warhammer? You know it's Warhammer time, baby. I'm just trying to get like a layer of metallics on all the gun barrels and everything like that. It's really like boring busy work right now because it's literally just putting layer after layer of like really basic paint on my shit. But you know what? You gotta do it sometimes. So why not throw up a stream and talk to a couple people while you do it? You know what I mean? What gender are you? I am cisgender. My pronouns are he, him, and I am a boy, man. I am man boy. I am boy, son of man. That's it. Warhammer's crazy ass expensive. I'll just stick to Magic the Gathering. Hey, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think that's pretty expensive too. Actually, you know what? I don't know if that's true or not. I've heard people say Magic the Gathering is expensive, but I think that might only be if you're looking to collect a black lowtie. I really can't speak on Magic the Gathering. I'm not an expert. You know what I mean? It's my first lives. What other stuff do you do on here? Mostly right now I do like the Warhammer painting streams because I think that's really just a fun way to kill time. I wanted to try more kinds of streams this week. Today I was supposed to do a digital art stream where I would like draw and paint digitally, but I just couldn't get it working in time. Like I literally was ready to go live and my computer exploded like 3 times. Hey, see you, Null. Have a wonderful evening. I hope you have a wonderful evening at the very least. And if it's not wonderful, I'll make it wonderful. God damn it. But yeah, so I was supposed to draw tonight, like draw digitally and stream that. But my computer exploded and it simply would not let me do so. So I very quickly went live like 20 minutes late and decided to pivot to Warhammer instead. Instead, I wanted to... so like I do want to shift things around a bit and try some new things. So on Friday, I have it scheduled that I will be doing a gaming stream instead of a painting stream because I want to try that for the first time. Don't know if it'll go well, don't know what I'll play, don't know what it'll do, but this is a week of trying new things for me. So I'm going to do a painting stream on Friday, and then on Sunday, I want to go live a little bit earlier, around 4 p.m. PST, and I want to do a makeup stream where I do a whole makeup look from scratch while talking to everybody while I do it. Now, that's what's in the books. I'm gonna try and do that, but there might be some logistical issues that prevent me from doing my makeup on stream. I want to get like a little mirror that I can use because it's very hard to do my makeup in like the reflection of a phone screen if it's on selfie mode. It also probably won't work that way because I have to like run it through OBS and do like a whole bunch of things with that as well. So I want to like invest in like a mirror and like see if I can get some other stuff to make it a little bit more feasible. But if it's not feasible, I might put it to like a community vote to see what we want to do on Sunday instead. I've got a couple of other stream ideas that I'd like to do. One time I thought it would be fun to do like, you know those like reaction streams people do where they just like browse content and like, you know, laugh and have a fun time. I want to do one of those, but I want to go back and like read a bunch of webcomics that I made back in the mid 2010s sort of thing. Hey, have a great night, Loyal Pie. Thanks for sticking around. Because for those who don't know, I like used to make webcomics a long time ago. I ran a daily webcomic series for about 5 years and have about 1,556 webcomics that I made for a series called An Exercise in Futility. So I thought it would be fun to do like a live stream where, you know, we just read those. Because for me, some of those comics are so old that I don't remember what any of the jokes are. And so it would be like I'm reading them from scratch. And I think that would be a really interesting and cool thing to do. Just because it, you know, might just be a fun thing to watch and read along with. You know what I mean? Do it with viewer video submissions. It would be awesome. I might do that too. Not quite sure how to vet that. People could send me very mean things and that break the YouTube terms of service. I don't know. I've never tried anything like that. We could have a watch party. We could you know, all get around with some pizza and movies. That could be fun. But yeah, basically, I'm just, like, trying to think of, like, you know, cool, fun new streams to do, because, like, you know, I like to do the painting, but, like, you know, there's some people out there right now. Like, they're watching, you know? I want to find all the cool ways we can have fun. Let's have fun. Hey, have a good night, Rio. It was good to have you around, and I'm glad you were here. In chat we trust. Any shows you're watching right now? Smoldering Hunk. I mean, I just finished The Boys, so I'm sort of, like, outside of shows at the moment. I don't know. I don't really have a show that I'm watching at the moment. Like, I guess I'm trying to catch up on Dimension 20, the Dropout D&D show that I really need to get back and watch in its entirety. But yeah, I really want to, yeah, I feel like I need a news show. I like watching TV shows, and it's been a while since I've really been able to sit down and commit to one like that. But yeah, I've been a big fan of The Boys, for a while, so I did watch that as it was coming out. You know what I mean? Do you watch Arcane? I do watch Arcane. I'm a big League of Legends man. I am actually right now listening to the League of Legends creator safe playlist that they have, which is like a playlist of a bunch of music they've made for all of their updates and whatever that you can use without copyright restrictions. Because the soundtrack of League of Legends fucking slaps. They make really good music if you like video game soundtracks. What campaign are you on right now? Never Stop Blowing Up is lovely. I watched the first episode of Never Stop Blowing Up, and I need to get back into it. I need to get back into it. You know, I just need to find the time. It's so difficult for me to, like, sit down and go, like, I'm gonna devote 2 hours of my time to watching a thing. It's a hard sell. You have the vibe, you're gonna love Dungeon Meshi or Midnight Gospel. We finished Dungeon Meshi. We did watch that in this house, and it was great. You know? Incredible English dub. All of the voice actors were really cool. Have you heard of Infinity Train? I have heard of Infinity Train, and I know it's really good. I just don't know where to watch it legally, and I don't think there's anywhere you can watch it legally anymore. Sup, brother? Hope you're good. Hey, Evil Eye. I am good. I'm even better now that you're here. You have enriched me with your presence, and I'm thankful for that. Witcher 3 OST is great. Witcher 3 OST is great. Witcher 3 OST is great if you want, like, Dungeons & Dragons fight music. There was a YouTube video that I thought about doing. Is that Warhammer? Hell yeah, it is! What model are you painting? I'm painting the Daka Jet. Pew 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 pew. I'm basically just putting all of the... I'm just basically putting, like, a layer of lead belcher on all the barrels and stuff like that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I wanted to do a YouTube video about, like, song recommendations to play while playing Dungeons and Dragons, but that video I think would get demonetized immediately. So I've sort of got that one on the back burner. But, like, as a longtime dungeon master, there's a whole lot of, like, video game soundtracks and stuff that I think are really good for D&D that people sleep on. And I think there's a lot of good, like, genres of game soundtracks to look for when you're trying to run a game and things like that. Because people I find that people tend to go to, like, iconic video game soundtracks like The Witcher or, like, Doom. And, like, The Witcher is a great example of a really good soundtrack to listen to while playing Dungeons & Dragons. But something like Doom is, like, not good music for D&D. It's great music. It's one of the best video game soundtracks ever. Like, it's great for listening to. It's really good, like, metal music that's really fast-paced. But it's also, like, completely overwhelming at a D&D table. So, you know. Do a barrel roll. I can't do a barrel roll with my hand. My wrist simply cannot do that. You were saying my social security number? Oh yeah, it's 211-111-348. I don't know what social security numbers are. I don't have one. I've never had one. And that is not a system that I need to use. And thank God for that. Doom is better for Cyberpunk Red campaigns. Doom, like, completely overwhelms you. Like, the only way that you can play... The only reason that the Doom soundtrack works in a video game is because the soundtrack is controlled by the game. You know what I mean? I cannot believe you broke keyfab and admitted having seen an anime. Oh no. My big lie. It's all been exposed. I've seen one anime, and it is Dungeon Meshi, and nothing else. This is a random, but you're so pretty. Thank you, C. Thank you. I try my best. I take care of my skin. And I put noxious chemicals on it for fun and profit. Some Doom could be used as if it's supposed to be overwhelming, like the party is getting overwhelmed. I mean, you say that, and I understand the logic. But, like, unless you're actively running things on a, like, if you're running a combat encounter, and you're not running something that has, like, an actual, like, time limit to it. Like, there are times in D&D where you can, like, impose a time limit on players to be like, you know, you gotta make a decision. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You can't really do that in battle, because players have to, like, look through all their stuff, they have to read all their rules. Like, you can't impose a time limit on that. If you're doing, like, a chase sequence, maybe, because then that's just, like, you gotta roll dice really quickly, and that can be really fun and exciting. So I get your point. There is ways you can put Doom in Dungeons & Dragons campaigns and have it be okay. But I think, by and large, using it for combat encounters is kind of a doomed venture. But that's just me, you know what I mean? Trying to get into Spy X Family and that one funny dub, and I'm not really into anime. I mean, that's totally fair, you know what I mean? Hey, Verana! Thank you for the super chat. Aww! I love that little man. I love that little dog. We love dogs in this house. We have one. He is a wretched little rat that scurries around, and we love him. Just as we love that little man. Thank you, Verana, from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. And I appreciate all of you. I thank you all for, you know, being out here and, you know, spending time with me, because, you know, even if nobody's like, you know, it's like, you know, I really do think it's special. You know what I mean? You're all special to me. Especially that little dog man. Like, I love that little dog man. He's holding that little heart. He's bouncing around. I love him. We love dogs in this house. I have to go. I need to wake up. I need to wake up early. Hell yeah, Mortimer. That's totally fine. Get some rest. Get some sleep. And in fact, I'm probably gonna do the same as well. I went a little bit late today because I started a little bit late again, which I apologize for. I had computer explodey disease, so I wasn't able to go live exactly at 5 p.m. You know what I mean? So I think I'm going to start wrapping it up here. I've made some good progress. Progress is really hard to see on the Dakka Jet because I'm basically just putting like layers of yellow and silver on things that are already kind of yellow and silver. So either way, I made some good progress. I'm time to like put it down for now. So we can eat some food and get clean because I smell bad. Wait, I 3D printed your face. Is that a threat? It does sound vaguely threatening. But I'm still very much appreciative for it. Oh, the dog is having a coughing fit, so he can't come on camera now. Yeah, we love our little old man. He's old. He's old. He's having a coughing fit. It happens. Has anyone ever told you you kind of look like the villain from The Incredibles? Well, that's it. I'm logging off for now. Everybody have a wonderful night. It was a pleasure hanging out with you, and I hope to see you all next time. Have a good night. I don't have like a hotkey that like automatically ends the stream. I do have this though.